Today what we're going to do is we are going to do some pork sausage with some sauteed veggies, and we're going to put that all in our little egg muffins. So I'm going to start by doing a pound of pork, and this here is a spice blend that I have mixed up. Lots of delicious spices. There's fennel, there's nutmeg, there's a little allspice, sea salt. I will put up the recipe for that. But per pound of meat, I'm going to add a good tablespoon of seasoning. Maybe just a little bit more. And then I'm going to mix this up and incorporate it really good. And then we'll start with our veggies. Okay guys, so I've incorporated all those spices into the pork. And this is one thing I don't think people realize just how easy it is to make. Look, this is fresh. You know exactly what's going into it. It's pork and spices and herbs. That's it. Comes together in a minute. Now you could have fun and form these into patties, or if you want to roll them into links, you can do it that way. We've certainly done it that way. But for this particular dish, I'm just going to brown it like I would any beef or ground turkey in a pan, because I'm going to then mix it into my little omelet muffins. Okay? So I've got a saute pan on about medium-high heat, and I'm going to go ahead and brown our sausage. Alright, so I'm just going to put it in the pan here. This is also another great thing if you want to make this in bulk and then freeze the sausage. You can even freeze it when it's like this prior to browning it, or you can actually make the sausage and then freeze it and then just thaw it out when you're ready to use it. So on a weekend day, like a Saturday or Sunday, if you have some more time, make a ton of this stuff. Then you have it for hot breakfast during the week, either for you or for your kids. So we're going to let this brown. We're going to go back and chop up our veggies right now. Okay, so now I'm going to do my little food hack. So instead of dicing all of these veggies super fine, I am going to chop them into super large chunks, all relatively the same size, and I am going to throw them into my food processor. And if you have not invested in one of these, if you plan on starting to cook a lot from home, I highly, highly recommend it. Makes your life so much easier. Notice I didn't mind too much about the seeds. I got a bunch out, but it's alright if there's some left in there. So again, just kind of slicing them into large chunks. I have a pepper on hand, a zucchini, and I'm going to throw in a handful of baby carrots. We always have these on hand because the girls use these for their lunches, and we like to snack on them too. And I am making extra veggies because I'm also going to use this in a dish with, it's super simple, just a ground turkey with sauteed veggies. So you may not need this much depending on how many little muffins you're planning on making. But I've just about filled up my little food processor here. So let's go over and we are just going to pulse these a few times. And because I'm putting them in the little muffin tins, I want it to be a pretty fine dice. So I'm just going to pulse. Times. Look at that color. Beautiful. So you can see how fine it is. And again, guys, this is a great way to hide vegetables from your kids. If you can get it cut up fine enough, there is a good chance they won't even know it's in there. I do it all the time. Alright, so after our sausage is done sauteing, we're going to go ahead and saute these vegetables as well. I like mine crispy on the outside, so mine's pretty well done. You do not have to do yours this well done, but you can see it is completely browned. We do have some fat that's rendered, but I'll just show you an easy trick that you don't need to mess with pouring it out or anything like that. So I'm going to take my same pan that I mixed it in, that I gave a wash to, I'm just going to put all the sausage in there until I'm ready to use it. And then when I go to saute my vegetables, I don't need any oil or anything. I'm just going to use the delicious flavored little bit of fat that's left in that pan to saute my veggies. So I took about a little bit more than half out already for my dinner that I'll be doing with the ground turkey. And I'm just going to go ahead and put these veggies in there. Again, I used carrots. I used zucchini, and I had a pepper on hand. I used that. Use whatever you got in the fridge. And then I'm just going to saute these. There will be some liquid that will probably release. Zucchinis have a lot of liquid in them, as well as peppers. So that, if I do find that I've got a lot of liquid, I'll probably strain some of that off. But for now, let that saute on medium-high heat until they become soft. We'll add a little salt and pepper to it, and then we'll get our eggs mixed. Sauteing nicely, I'm just going to go ahead and add a half teaspoon of salt. And probably about a quarter teaspoon to a half teaspoon of pepper, as much as you want. And then we're just going to mix that all in. And while this has been sauteing here, I have broken and mixed 12 eggs. So I'm going to use a full dozen. And these actually look like there's not too much moisture coming out. There might have been more carrots in here than I thought. So no need to drain any excess liquid here. But these are pretty much done. They're to a soft consistency. So I'm going to turn this off, and we'll start putting together our omelet muffins. Okay, so I've got all my components here. I've got my eggs, I've got my sausage and sauteed veggies, and a little trick I was telling you is if you just use a slotted spoon when you go to grab it, there's not really any in there, but if you had a lot of grease, it would just go to the bottom of your bowl, so you don't have to have all that extra fat. So I'm actually just going to mix the sausage with my veggies. There's a few different ways you could do it. You could actually mix everything all together, but to ensure that I get a good amount of sausage and veggies in each little omelet muffin, I'm going to mix these two together, put it in the bottom of my tin, and then pour the egg over top. So do that now. And it looks like I will have some of this left over, which is awesome because this just alone makes a great snack. Or you could save it for the next morning and just throw it in with some scrambled eggs. So I'm going to fill them about halfway with the sausage and veggie mixture, and then the egg will top the rest. Again, there's a lot of combinations you can use in this, different vegetables, different meats. Omit the meat, just make them veggies. Omit the veggies, just make them meat. When you're not doing the Whole30, if cheese is something that you love, go ahead and throw some cheese in here. So you're just filling them up till just right before the top there. You can always sprinkle with a little extra salt and pepper. I like to do it to taste, so I'll usually cook them first. If I think they need more, I'll just do a little bit more at the end. So I'm going to fix these up just a little bit, and then we're going to pop them in the oven, which is preheating at 350 degrees right now. Okay, I just took them out. I had them in for 25 minutes. Mine, again, are a little bit smaller than normal cupcake tins, so you guys may need to go a full 30 minutes. But the most important part is you just want to make sure that the center is set. You don't want there to be any liquid left. And these guys will deflate a little bit, but again, so easy. You pop them out after they cool, put them in the refrigerator for a quick breakfast on the go, or freeze them. and just warm them up in the microwave when you need them later on in the week. Thanks guys, hope you enjoyed. Again, don't forget to subscribe for some more delicious and healthy recipes.